Hello and Merry Christmas. It's, funnily enough, Christmas Day that I'm recording this and hopefully uploading it. So, this year is somewhat special in that Brawl has fallen on Christmas. So, I decided that in the spirit of Christmas, we'd make a really, really, really bad deck, which the entire purpose of is to try and give the opponent the win. And I'm sure the immediate thought is that should be easy to do, just don't play anything. But I mean a little bit more literally. So we actually have role reversal here, and the idea is that we'll give the opponent a win con and then try and set it up so that they can win through it. So Kenrith, the Returned King, just seemed suitable here since first of all he's 5 colours, so he gives us access to all of the cards we need, with all of the ways of winning effectively. And he also is able to give things to the opponent, like extra life, extra card draw, returning creatures from graveyard onto the battlefield. You know, all of the good stuff that is just in the spirit of giving. And yeah, it's not very good for a couple of reasons. The first is that since it's not actually trying to win, and because it's trying to set up a alternate win and then give that win to the opponent will often just steamroll before you can do anything, or alternatively, blow up your win con that you're intending to give to them, because obviously there's no communication, and that's understandable, it's expected, and it's also where the interest comes in, because if you just said to your opponent, please don't kill me, I'm trying to give you the win by filling this win con and passing it on to you, then there'd be no challenge in that. So that's essentially what the attempt's going to be. Now, it is really difficult to set up as is, since role reversal requires the 2 permanents to share a type. And that means they need to have an enchantment down to get handed an enchantment. Similarly, if we want to give them one of the Planeswalker ones, they have to have a Planeswalker down. And if we want to give them a 5-colour creature to fulfill this, well, first and foremost, we have to get it back with something like Tamiyo, or I think it's Spellkeeper Weird I've got in here. Yeah, we've got to either bring it back to do it again, or yeah, it's not easy. And that's where the one other way of doing it really is Captive Audience. Since this goes straight under the opponent's control, we do control a lot of enchantments, and so we have something we can swap with it. And this also sort of counts as giving them the win, in that it's a negative effect for us. Yeah, it's not something that I'm expecting to work, and I will be happy if I either A, manage to get any win whatsoever, or B, even get remotely close to pulling off a switch. It's not a good deck. I wouldn't recommend wasting wildcards building it, since it is not good at the end of the day. The only real interesting thing in here is something like Biomancer's Familiar makes Kenrith's abilities really cheap, which if you've got Chromatic Lantern down, you can make those abilities, yeah. It's 2 mana, draw a card. White mana, gain 5 life. You can tap all of your lands and gain such a ridiculous amount of life that you can survive. And that's really the best way of surviving with this deck. Just Kenrith, gain 5 life, gain 5 life, gain 5 life. And I think I've also got Leyline of Abundance in here, since it can put a counter on each creature you control. So with Simic Ascendancy, that's one of the fastest ways to do it. It also gives us extra ramp for all of our ramp creatures. Fires of Invention is in here, and yeah, I've not got excessive amounts of lands. I've only got 24, so it doesn't always get things for free, but it does, at the very least, make our cheaper plays able to be played for free, which then allows us to spend all of our mana on an expensive thing and then getting a free mana ramp thing or something. And then late game it normally does become better, and yeah, it's questionable at times, but I do think it's still worthwhile. since it's probably the only reasonable way to set up something like Captive Audience into a role reversal before the opponent has one of those effects trigger, and because if they choose your life total becomes 4, discard your hand, or create zombies, yeah, they're all very impactful, and yeah, I'd rather not have one of those options lost when the entire point is for us to get the win. So yeah, other things, so Nickel Bolus technically is -8, is a lose the game, same with Vraska. However, they are both win cons since it's it's 1v1. So it doesn't matter that only one person's losing the game when there's only one person you're playing against. They're also good for controlling out the board somewhat, to just hope that we survive long enough. And then Plain White Celebration allows us to quickly get them up to the point where they can win, or we can return them if they get blown up from the graveyard. And then once again, more life gain and creating tokens to be able to either roll reversal or win through Happily Ever After, which is probably the hardest one and the one that I most want to win with, or have the opponent win with, sorry. But yeah, it's the 5 life, or the having more life than starting life total, easily doable. Kenrith can just give them all of the life in the world. Control opponent with all colours, a little bit more difficult, since if I have to roll reversal it over to them, I also have to roll reversal a creature. I sort of have eyes everywhere. If they're playing blue, they can use that. There's also another fun card, like the 2 cards in Stand at the moment that can steal something. Well, I say steal, that the opponent can then get something off of you for, because obviously there's Agent of Treachery as well. So this is good just because it lets us set up with the scry, and then if the opponent's playing blue, it's like, okay, we'll swap this with your big scary threat, and they can go, well, I'm going to steal your win con you're about to win with. Oh no, what a shame. I really hope that didn't happen. Anyways, that's all there really is to say with it. Niv-Mizzet Reborn as well. He doesn't hit much. He whiffs quite frequently, but Roll Reversal, Simic Ascendancy, Vraska, and Captive Audience all fit into it, so it can pull out the win cons. And it also is a 5-mana creature, a 5-color creature for Happily Ever After. It's complete and utter jank. There's no denying that. But hey, Christmas spirit and all. So with that in mind, we're going to get into some games. Let Santa Kenrith do his thing. Well, I've got a Niv-Mizzet Reborn in hand. Well, I got an Incubation Drone, I've got a Biomancer's Familiar. So I think I'll keep it. Could be risky. I then do have the mana for Eyes Everywhere, so I can then get my scry going. Ah, goody. Start off with the field. I think I'll get my eyes down first so I can start scrying. Okay, that's Devil Green. Fifth land, but it's not got me any red. Might be risky, but I've got very little red actually in here. But they'll be able to use Eyes Everywhere to get something back, but that's good, since theoretically they'll steal one of my win cons. And 2 less to activate. I need the green there to do that. So it would be 3 mana. So I could do it. Okay.
That's more like it.
I don't have the red though yet, so I can't actually haste. I can put a counter on something. With that in mind, because up the druid. Actually, Vraska.
I only picked 5. It seems fortune favors you.
I expected that to be removed. But I do have black in my graveyard, so Kenrith can come out.
Alive for alive.
I don't think I haste Kenrith in actually. There's no need to. He's not my main win con. And punching then leaves my Paradise Druid open. Okay, so white, blue, black, red. Yep, they can play Niv Mizzet. Yeah, there goes Vraska. And field's active. That's going to become a problem. Let's go checking what I can get back with Kenrith. Oh, I can get my mountain now. Whiff. I mean, yeah, I'm not exclusively running power cards, but, well, multicolored cards, so I don't always get the most value out of them, is it? So yeah, still getting my Night Cinder Lines, so that's 2 ways to blow up enchantments. So, keep in mind. difficult one. Ramping up. No blocks. I could have got one of the zombies with the visit. Ah. Definitely should have got one of the zombies with the visit. Yeah. Well, I'm not giving them the win this time. I didn't expect to against no visit, honestly. Just because yeah, you can get so much value if you actually build it properly around it. Because yeah, they can now just replay Niv Mizzet, get their hand completely refilled again. And all I've got going for me is they have to think really hard about whether they want to play Happily Ever After or Eyes Everywhere. And the correct answer is probably Eyes Everywhere, yeah. Especially since their field is active. Maybe I should put a field in here just because it stalls. Not the intent to wait for that. Yeah, there's a time wipe. Thief of Sanity. Maybe we get another technicality Thief of Sanity. Yeah, no, that's good. So yeah, I think I am going to get that Field of the Dead in here. Replace the of course Battlefield. Replace the Cardin's Bastion. Not because I intend to win through it, but because it should theoretically be able to slow down the game more, which is what I need. Preferably I also run into an aggro deck or something on Nath. Well, that's an Arcane Signet and a Files of Invention. That's an Incubation Grid. There's their Signet. really use Jace just to be able. They need to play a Planeswalker as well, so. Omnath currently kills Incubation Druid. Oh no. Well, they can't attack this turn, but that's a lot of retriggers. I think Roof was one other one I was considering, but just not got the elemental support to get the value out of it. But now, yeah, now the Incubation Druid dies even if I... Oh, I really need a land. Probably taking the Incubation Druid with on there. Ah, it was a good start. I think if we were on the play, we might have been able to just a little bit better. Okay, I can get Evolution Sage. I'm fine with that. Acclaim is a good one. Not these. If they have to reanimate them, then they can bring back the Scorcher. Oh, that's... Oh, yeah, Druid can now. Just gonna shuffle all my lands away. Screw it. Okay, hits. So Ascendancy Balance is familiar. I think they're familiar in this instance. I really could use a land so I can drop Vraska. Well, drop Vraska anyway, because of the Incubation Druid. But... yeah, this is already good enough. That's a land.
You won't see the end coming until it's too late. It's not often I'm outmaneuvered.
6 mana. That's got to top a red. So black. Tap black. That. Blue. Black. Red. I should have killed the Cavalier first. Or plus nickel bonus.
Once again.
Yeah. Bonus. Presumably exile the token. Okay.
My schemes are never ending.
Okay. Yeah, I think my mistake was we should have played Bolus first, blown up the Cavalier. Well, that's unfortunate. Yeah, there's the Thunderkin. That's what I was expecting. Probably I might be dead. I think I might just be dead. So, back the Risen Reef. Should just get them one more trigger. Then you have 2 white mana with Kenrith. No, I do have an additional 3 with Incubation Druid. So, nothing to do with that. Yeah, that's going to die anyway. It's 3. Can block all of that. Can block all of that. Good this turn. Yeah. Okay. I think I have a chance. So we get a free Kenrith.
Witness a mote of my power.
Okay. So I can put 2 counters on. That's not good. Okay, here we go. Right, I think this is the game where I'm going to be able to do it. Because 3, 4, 5. I need. Yeah, Revenge of the Ravens is pretty decent. I need one more land, and I can captive audience.
Outsmarted you eons ago.
Okay. So next turn, I can donate my captive audience to them. I just need to survive this turn. That's interesting. That's not good. Come on. Okay, I got a pretty good chance of surviving this, I feel. So, pass to blockers. That can get really, really big. So I'm going to check that there. That. There. That. Actually, there. So I can pump that twice. Yeah, that's really big. So, can I... That's going to go to 1818. So, what's the counter on that? No, I'm here to stop as much damage as possible. Put 2 counters on this. Actually, that was a mistake. The better thing would have been to use Biomancer to let Incubation Druid adapt again, which would have got 3 for 3. Draw a card. survive this. I needed one more white. Oh, well, 2 more white mana. Ah, so close. Should have just used the nickel bonus minus to get the captive audience. That may be the closest we get. Ah, that sucks. That sucks hard. One more shot, I think. As it is still Christmas, so still want to spend time with people. Got to spend some time putting this together. And I think we've got as close as I'm going to get with one of the earlier games. So doesn't actually do anything more. Let's bargain that. Oof. Incubation Druid. Both those lands enter tapped. Aggressive Mulligan. Okay, I like that. I like that a lot. I think I dropped Trelane though. Hold, which is a bit of a problem. Okay. Well, that as a land. Probably the fires. Problem is, gold just produces so much value that it just keeps getting bigger and bigger. Actually, nickel bolus. Yeah, I can play him next turn. Yeah, I can. I've got the lantern, so. Not going to burn that food yet, though. They could get to Corvold out now. It's not nickel bonus, but that's also got to die. Can I afford to plus here? Might just throw the goose in front of the Prowler to keep the bonus alive. Since Kenrith can start bringing things back afterwards.
intellect is without limit.
So if they attack with both, builders can survive, but I do have to then trade the Sage into Conrad, and Conrad doesn't die. Prowler on its own I would trade into. Would I? Okay, that. So, that I guess I'm fine with. Builder still dies there.
Conceivable!
I can get it back with playing one celebration here anyway, so. Get back Cranko. I'll play Cranko immediately. Oh, he might have land in hand. Nope, Fluid. No blocks. Is it good to fairy there? Bounce that. I do want to play my celebration, so I think do this. I just want that back, so we get back with the bonus. So then I can bounce Conrad, kill. Okay. Conrad gets bigger, that's fine. Cool, is there. sacrificing. Okay. Scheming symmetry. Nice.
In exchange for eternal servitude. Ah, perish!
Now they can kill one of them by attacking with everything. Sounds good.
Trust me, I have a plan.
Oh, I forgot to use Kenrith to put a counter on something. Oops.
Let your weak minds crumble.
There's a blocker. Again. Can't attack this turn. Thank you, Archon. Let me see if I can help them. There you go. Archon of Absolution. Oh! Okay, they gave up because of Archon stopping them from attacking. Okay. Well, we didn't get a chance to give them the win. But we won somehow. I mean, in fairness, there's probably quite a few games where I could have won had I been trying to, as opposed to trying not to. There's a lot of damage that could be pushed through. A lot of, I mean, the deck's really badly made anyway because it's built around really janky stuff. So I guess the moral of the story here is that everyone who plays Magic is on the naughty list because nobody got their presents. well, a few people got presents, but they didn't win with them. So, yeah, well, it was an interesting experiment. Would love to potentially try it again in a format where we've got a few more ways of moving things around, so that, you know, it's actually a little bit more plausible than relying on a single card. I think we saw once in the entire game, and that was when we were tutoring through our library. So anyways, Merry Christmas everyone. Hope you enjoyed the video. Take care, and I'll see you next time.